Hi, I'm Tony from SongWriters Chop Shop. One way we can create more emotion in our lyrics is with how we structure them. So what do I mean by that? Well, more often than not, how we say something is more important than what we say. So what we're saying is the lyrics themselves, and how we're saying it is the lyrical structure. Let me show you what I mean. Let's look at a sad song. It's a terrible lyric, but that's the point. I want to focus on the structure, not the content. And also for this example, let's look at the first verse of The Weeknd's Blinding Lights. Songwriting is all about emotions. We write from an emotional place and connect with the listener on an emotional level. And structure is the way we can communicate the emotion we feel in a way the audience feels it too. So what exactly do I mean by structure? Well, here are some basic elements of lyric structure that can help us to cause emotion. Rhyme type, rhyme scheme, the length of the lines, and the amount of lines in a section. First of all, we need to be clear about the emotion that we want to communicate. We can put our emotions into two basic categories, positive or negative, or to say it in another way, balanced or unbalanced. Balanced would include anything upbeat and positive, like happiness and confidence. We will rock you, for example. But when it comes to structure, it would also include negative statements made with certainty, like I came in like a wrecking ball. Unbalanced would include things like longing or sadness or anger, but also positive statements or questions made with uncertainty, like never mind, I'll find someone like you. So let's play around with some basic structural elements and see what effect it has on the emotional feel of the lyric. If you're new to songwriting, there's a free cheat sheet linked below that can take you from no idea to a finished song. So the emotion we want to communicate in our practice lyric is sadness. That's definitely unbalanced. But if we look at our sad song, everything seems to be balanced. The rhyme types, we're using perfect rhymes. The rhyme scheme, it's AABB, meaning line 1 rhymes with line 2 and line 3 rhymes with line 4. That's a really balanced rhyme scheme. The length of the lines are the same. They all have the same amount of stressed syllables in each line, and the amount of lines in the section. It has 4 lines, an even number of lines. Now, the emotion in the section of Blinding Lights is also unbalanced. I'd say the emotional sense is chaotic uncertainty. He's been trying to reach his ex because maybe she can show him how to love. Maybe. So, I'm gonna take a very balanced practice lyric and make it more unbalanced so it matches the emotion we want to get across. And at the same time, I'm gonna make the Blinding Lights lyrics as balanced as I possibly can so the structure dilutes that chaotic, uncertain emotion. We'll start with the rhyme types. Let's change the rhyme types in the practice lyric to something more unbalanced. We're using perfect rhymes here, that's the most balance you can get. So let's change them to family rhymes. There are 6 main types of rhyme and each one of them can have a different emotional effect on your lyrics. Check out this video if you want to learn more about how rhyme types can affect the emotion of a lyric. Okay, so let's do the reverse with Blinding Lights. These are family rhymes, which are pretty close, but let's make them perfect rhymes. There's not a lot of perfect rhymes for love, so let's go with dove. Back to our practice lyric. Now, let's change the rhyme scheme to something more unbalanced. The rhyme scheme is AABB. So what if we change it to XAXA, where X doesn't rhyme with anything? Let's swap lines 2 and 3 around and change the rhyme. Now 2 of the lines don't rhyme with anything, so that's a bit more unbalanced. And what about Blinding Lights? The rhyme scheme here is XAAX. That's pretty unbalanced because of those 2 X lines that don't rhyme with anything. So let's give it our super balanced AABB rhyme scheme. And coming back to the practice lyric, so let's change the length of the lines now to make it even more unbalanced. We have the same amount of stressed syllables in each line, so that's really balanced. So let's put an extra stressed syllable in the first line. Now the second line is shorter than the first, so that puts it off balance a little. The third line is the same length as the second, so now we don't know what to expect the fourth line to match with. So let's make that a different length, giving it just 1 stressed syllable. Now that throws the balance off even more. If you want to know more about this concept, you can check out this video linked below. So as far as line length, this is what Blinding Lights does as well. Lines 2 and 3 match with the same amount of stressed syllables. so we're not exactly sure what to expect from line 4. Will it match up with lines 2 and 3, or will it match with line 1? Of course, we're not consciously thinking of this when we listen to the song, but our ears are feeling it. That structure is working its magic in the background to enhance that chaotic, uncertain emotion. And then, when the 4th line doesn't match up with anything, it kind of pulls the rug from underneath us. So let's put that rug firmly back underneath us by making all the lines the same length. So we've taken all that chaotic uncertainty out of the lyric structure. There should be a disconnect between what the lyrics are saying and their structure. Let's go back to the practice lyric because there's one more thing we can do. The section still has 4 lines and that's balanced. So let's add an extra line to throw things off balance even more. So now the structure of the lyrics should be working more with the meaning of the lyrics to create more of the intended emotion. We don't need to have all these things off balance all the time to communicate non-balanced emotion. It really depends on how balanced or unbalanced the emotion or message of your song is to begin with. But play around with these 4 elements and see what difference it makes to the feeling of your lyrics, and you can mix and match until it feels right. Catch you next time.